Will Exure be able to return the $1 price? How will the trial end? Can Ripple beat the SEC? We will answer these questions in today's video. Many in the cryptocurrency community see the case of Ripple Labs UUSU, Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, as the most significant legal precedent to date. If SEC Chairman Gary Gensler and his agency win the lawsuit, it would mean a more severe crackdown on the cryptocurrency business by the United States top regulator. The motivations, though, might be dubious. In July of last year, attorney John E. Deaton's new platform CryptoLaw revealed shocking information concerning Gary Gensler. By releasing the so-called Gensler files, Deaton suggested that the SEC director could be favoring outside interests. Almost 2 years ago, it was revealed that Annabelle Lee LC and Marital Trust, two of Gensler's most important entities, had assets worth over $100 million, the vast majority of which were handled by Vanguard Group. On the other hand, Gensler's public itinerary reveals at least 7 meetings with Vanguard Group, but no crypto-related firms. Such bias has persisted to the present day. Gensler's bias for Wall Street behemoths is on full display at a time when not just Ripple, but the whole sector is fighting the SEC in Operation Choke Point 2.0. According to Fox Business's Eleanor Terrett, Gary Gensler's public schedule for September was only posted on the SEC website yesterday. Meetings with Vanguard Group, China's ambassador Nicholas Burns, and BlackRock are among the highlights. FTC Chairman Rostin Behnam was consulted 4 times. Former SEC General Counsel John Coates was consulted twice. When Gensler appointed Vanguard Group to handle his $100 million personal wealth, Deaton said he has allowed them disproportionate access to his office. Recently, Deaton speculated on the motivations behind the SEC's crackdown on Ripple and the cryptocurrency sector as a whole. The lawyer said Gensler would stick to its philosophy of regulating via enforcement until major financial institutions like Vanguard are pleased. According to Deaton's description, major financial institutions are typically positive about cryptocurrency. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink predicted that technology will play a key role in the current society. In addition, he underlined the need of acceptable crypto laws. Specifically, Deaton concluded, as such, Ripple may provide a standard for the SEC to follow when regulating cryptocurrencies, allowing the American agency to monitor all tokens and, ideally, all secondary market trades. In light of what Deaton has revealed, it is more crucial than ever that Ripple wins its case against the SEC. When Brad Garlinghouse joined Ripple Labs in 2015, he certainly didn't expect to be at the center of one of cryptocurrency's greatest legal disputes. Garlinghouse has extensive company experience and fights regulators. Garlinghouse attributes his work ethic and honesty and responsibility to his Midwest heritage. Can Ripple's CEO fight for blockchain's future after working at some of the internet's top companies? Who leads Ripple Labs against the SEC with Chris Larson? We must go back to comprehend Garlinghouse's crypto market ambitions. Charles Hoskinson and Gavin Wood are computer science, trained blockchain leaders. The XRP founder comes from a business and economics background, not New York or San Francisco. Hutchinson, Kansas, reared Brad Garlinghouse. Garlinghouse was raised in a tiny Midwest town and values family and community. Wichita Southeast High School and the University of Kansas gave him a BA in economics in 1994. Garlinghouse completed his MBA at Harvard Business School in 1999 with bigger goals. Garlinghouse interned at Allen Company, an investment banking company, while college. Garlinghouse worked as a JP Morgan analyst for 6 years after graduating from Harvard Business School. These years exposed Garlinghouse to Wall Street and the World Economic Forum. Early internet giant Yahoo hired Brad Garlinghouse. Garlinghouse developed Yahoo Mail as Senior Vice President of Communications and Communications and Community. These platforms are the foundation of the current internet. Garlinghouse is most known for the Peanut Butter Manifesto after his contributions to Yahoo. This famous memo called on Yahoo to simplify processes. Fintech companies shared the message. In 2009, Garlinghouse became president of consumer apps at AOL. He developed AOL Mail and instant messaging in this capacity. Garlinghouse also ran AOL Ventures. Bebo's purchase presented fresh issues. AOL Ventures sold Bebo 2 years later at a fraction of their acquisition price, making this move a failure. Brad Garlinghouse left Silver Lake Partners to work on blockchain and digital assets. Garlinghouse identified Dell MC, Airbnb, and Alibaba Group investment prospects as managing director. Garlinghouse was also a senior exec at Hightail. Garlinghouse made sure Hightail kept offering creative productivity solutions to its global customers after rebranding from Usendit. Garlinghouse left corporate life to join Chris Larson at Ripple Labs in 2015. Since then, Ripple's CEO has led its growth in XRP development. Garlinghouse has advocated using blockchain to address banking regulations and cybersecurity. His outspokenness has made him a target of the SEC's cryptocurrency assault. The SEC's lawsuit against Ripple Labs has tarnished the blockchain company's CEO. The complaint seeks to clarify how the SEC regulates XRP. Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple Labs call XRP a currency, whereas the SEC calls it a securities. Ripple Labs and XRP have suffered from the litigation, with Coinbase removing the coin. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt have clouded XRP's prospects in previous bull markets due to reduced trading liquidity. The lawsuit should be resolved by mid-2023. The SEC's crypto and blockchain crackdowns continue. The SEC penalized Kraken $30 in February 2023 for their staking offering. Formerly, it was reported that attorney John E. Deaton said the sole success the United States Securities and Exchange Commission will likely claim in its lawsuit against Ripple is that the blockchain payments firm offered XRP as Ether as a securities from 2013 to 2017. The attorney, who is representing over 75,000 XRP investors as a friend of the court in the dispute, provided further detail about his assertions in a long Twitter thread yesterday. The market regulator does not perform a special how-we analysis by identifying transactions that constituted securities offers, as explained by Deaton in the discussion. Instead, he claims the market regulator is making the case that all XRP sales are in fact securities by using what he calls the but for test. The SEC's argument, according to Deaton, is that all XRP represents securities regardless of the circumstances of the transaction, since Ripple helped establish a secondary market for XRP. The SEC's assertion in its summary judgment motion is the basis for the attorney's opinion. The SEC argued that the investment of money prong of the Howey test was met because defendants did not deny that they offered and sold XRP in return for money, meaning fiat currency. To paraphrase the court's opinion, defendants' assertions and actions as to XRP establish the other components of the Howey test as a matter of law. The but for test, as a reminder, is used to establish fault in tort and criminal proceedings by showing that a certain result is the direct consequence of the defendant's actions and would not have occurred under alternative circumstances. In addition, Deaton notes that the SEC avoids doing a full Howey analysis by placing too much emphasis on the XRP coin. The market regulator's contention that XRP is symbolic of both the investment contract and the joint venture is shown by the lawyer. The attorney objects, explaining that this is not how Howey is implemented, as it is the particulars of the transaction that often decide whether or not an offering constitutes an investment contract. Remember that Deaton has stressed that an investment contract's underlying asset cannot, in and of itself, constitute a security. Apparently, the lawyer was able to persuade the court to agree with him in the Lowbury case, resulting in a formal admission of this fact by the SEC. A good Howey analysis led by the conditions of the sale would limit things down to particular transactions, not all XRP sales, as it now claims, and the attorney feels that the SEC might have had an easy and winning case if it had done so. Deaton wrote in the thread, "This is why I said the SEC may have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory," after disclosing that he has pointed out to Judge Annalisa Torres that the SEC's claims in the Ripple case are potentially the broadest and farthest-reaching claims the regulator has made in any enforcement action. As the papers in the case have been filed and the parties are now waiting for a verdict, discussions have naturally turned to the various outcomes. Deaton has said that he anticipates a trial by jury,